Is this working? Alrighty. Sounds good. Excellent, 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 excellent. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good evening, good afternoon so far. How's everyone been? Let's see here. Sorry, 1 second, y'all. Stream Elements is acting kind of wonky. Then again, when is it ever not acting wonky, though? Ever being real? Ever being like for real, for real? Give me 1 second here. Why did it sign me? This is so silly. Why did it sign me out of my account? Okay, let's see. Let's fix this real quick. All right. I think we're good. I think we're solid. All right. Amazing. There we go. I am now signed back into Stream Elements, and now I can relax until the next time Stream Elements decides to crap out on me again. Hi, everybody. I'm back, and I'm very happy to be back here with you all. I'm very excited to be back to streaming after a pretty long, pretty extended absence away. How's everyone been lately while I've been gone? Good, I hope. Hey, Godzilla, it's good to see you, fam. What's up? A lot's up. A lot is up. It has been, what, like a little over, it's been not a little over a month, it's been well over a month since my last stream. Lots of life stuff happening all at once, you know. I moved. That was the first thing. That was the biggest thing. That's what kept me, like, you know, occupied for like a couple weeks there. And then once I got to my new place, had a lot of grown-up ish to handle, including but not limited to a minor roach problem. Not in the, you know, not infestation levels of roach problem, thankfully, but like it was a little hairy there for a while. Yeah, because like they're like coming in and out on like a semi-regular basis. Dying, thankfully, because apparently my place had already been treated by an exterminator before I moved in, and the exterminator comes by once a month anyway, so it's not like the end of the world, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of so like I have protection set up against it. You know, I got traps laid out all around the apartment and whatnot, and I haven't seen any really in like 8 or 9 days, so I think the traps worked, so I'm pretty happy with that. Other than that, you know, we're just rolling with the punches. You know, been checking out a lot of this 10th edition stuff that's been coming out. I haven't gotten my first I haven't gotten my first 10th edition game in yet, but hoping to get that in sometime soon. And you say, oh, that's good. I'm glad things have been pretty good. Ooh, you got Leviathan today. Very nice. What a coincidence. Because I was going to talk about this later, but since you brought it up, I'll bring it up now. But I actually also, I just picked up my copy of Leviathan today. Actually, got it right here. Buddy of mine, Ultra Lord, who you've probably seen in the chat from past streams, he and I decided to go halvesies. He wanted the Space Marines and I wanted the Tyranids. So we decided to split a box. It was actually so funny too, because like I'm not even kidding. Like I sincerely had no intention of getting this box at all. Because you know me, I'm primarily a Sisters player. I don't play Space Marines. I don't play Tyranids. But last night I had a dream. Last night, and in it I saw the most perfect Tyranid color scheme, and I was like, Oh my god, I gotta paint Tyranids now. What's the fastest, best way to get a whole bunch of Tyranids so I can paint them? And yep, it's a gigantic box, exactly. And that's exactly what I was like. I was like, wait a minute, the Leviathan box is pretty big. Oh god, am I gonna buy the Leviathan box? I said to myself. Turns out the answer is yes. And I had tweeted out about my plight, and Ultralord saw it, and he was like, hey man, look, if you want, we can go halvesies on it. Because I want the Space Marines. And I was like, you know what? Bet. Let's do it. I knew like the box was pretty big. I knew there were like a lot of minis in it, but damn, there are like hella minis in here, especially if you take the Tyranids half. I'm like, holy crap. I mean, you get like what, 20 Termagants, you get like a shit ton of the, what are they called? You get what, 20 Termagants, got 2 Ripper Swarms, 5 Barb Gaunts, 3 Von Ryan's Leapers, 1 Psychophage, 1 Screamer Killer, 11 Neurogaunts, 2 Neuraloids, a Neurotyrant, and the Winged Tyranid Prime. That's a lot of miniatures to paint. So, yeah. I guess my point here is look out for the next, maybe the next painting chapter here at Chimera Games. We're probably gonna be painting up some Tyranids here in the near future, and having a good time while doing it too. Yeah, speaking of, I just realized, I have to recalculate how many points worth of sisters I have now, because here I was, like, when I first started streaming, I'm like, oh yeah, let's paint up to a 2,000 point army, and now the points values have changed because we're in a new edition of the game, and I'm like, crap. I should probably recalculate that to see how many points. I suspect I'm actually closer now to 2,000 points than I was, just because of the whole, like, locked unit size thing that they're doing with like the point system, which is for, like, people are saying, for all intents and purposes, like the old power level system pretty much. In fact, give me 1 second here. Stand by, because monitor's probably going to look a little bit wonky here as I pull this up. I'm gonna go find let me go find the points PDF right now, actually, and check this out real fast, actually. And I'll pull it up on stream too, so you can look along. So y'all can look along too. Let's see. Alright, stand by for Hall of Mirrors mode. It'll go away real quick, I promise. Alright, so here we go. So we got the points document here. Wait a second. Let me make sure. Okay, cool, we're good, perfect. Awesome, so points document. So, taking a look at the points document, good thing sisters are right at the top. So, where's my calculator actually? Let me get my calculator out so I can do the math here real fast. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so, doing the math here. Also, I'm curious to know how many points you have now, Godzilla Nut, and how the points changes affected you and your army too, while I'm doing the math here on mine. Okay, so if we're going by just what I have painted, right, I have 2 squads worth of Battle Sisters that I want to play as Battle Sisters, so that's going to be 110 times 2, which is 220. I got 1 Canoness model that I want to play as a Canoness, so plus 60, so we're at 280. I got 5 Celestian Sacristans painted up, so that's 65. Let's see. I have 1 Dogmata, so that's 50. I have 10 Dominion. I have what is now going to be a 10-woman Dominion squad, because now Dominions are limited to 10 models per unit, so that's going to bring us to 405. And then I have my Hospitaller, which is another 40. And then I have, what else do we have? Morbin, of course, is 135. And then 240 for the Paragon Warsuits. And then I have only 8 Rapincha and the Rapincha Superior, but because of the rules, that counts as if it were 10, so that's actually going to be plus 150. So that's 970. I have 2 Retributor squads, so add 260 to that. I have, what else do we have? I have 2 Seraphim squads, so that's going to be another 140. Wait, did I do that right? Minus, yeah, plus 140. Okay, I have 2 rhinos, so that's another 160. And then, wait, oh, I forgot Palatine. Where's Palatine? Plus Palatine equals. And then, did I forget anything else? And then if we were to count the Castigator, since we're painting it's currently in progress, I'll go ahead and count that too. Okay. So we currently have 1,735 points. I see what you say. You said I don't want to count all of that. Probably around 8 to 10k points. Word. All right. Well, you're good and ready to tackle any level of game of 10th edition. Sorry, it took me a while to respond to your message there. I couldn't see chat because I'm still rocking the good old single monitor setup, which will hopefully be changing soon. You know, part of the reason why I've also been gone so long too is I've been putting in a lot of overtime at work in the hopes of saving up for a second monitor and upgrading my setup a bit more than I already have. Also, check it out. Better lighting now, speaking of. Unfortunately, another thing that kept me from coming back sooner was in my move, a few of my things got damaged. One of them was my old desk. It was damaged to the point where I wasn't really comfortable with like putting my stuff on top of it. Like, you know, it would still stand, but like with all my stuff on top of it, like I used to have it, it was pretty much a goner. So I got a new one. And this one has like a nice little mounted like shelf on top of it, so I was actually able to like rig up my lights, same lights I used to have before, but now placed in much better angles that light me better, thus making me look better. At the desk, my new desk too has plenty of space to work to, which I'm really happy about. Also got a new hobby lamp too, because my old one unfortunately broke in the move as well. I was really upset about that, just because, you know, it's my lamp. You know, that lamp had been with me through so many projects. But we are all good now, though. We are all good now. Yeah, so that's kind of it for like the Cliff Notes version, I guess, of like all the stuff that's been happening to me. I'm sure we'll chat more as we continue on here, but we are going to be continuing on with the Castigator, the same project that we were working on before my hiatus. So I'm really excited to get to that. Still on track to try and finish all my sister's models before I move on to anything else. We still have the Castigator to finish, and then after that we got that Celestian Sacrosanct squad, and then finally we got the non-metallic metal Celestine project coming up down the pipeline. How long is it going to take us to get to all that? Who knows? But let's have a grand old time while we try to get there, yeah? Because we always have a grand old time there. Here, not there, here at youtube.com/Chimera Games. Speaking of, you're the only person here at Godzilla, of course, but just for posterity's sake, hey everybody, welcome back to Chimera Games. If you're new here, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button to show your support for my channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell as well. That way you know exactly when I go live at my brand new time, which is Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We used to be live Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but you know, life happens, had to move some stuff around, and so now we're going to be going live at Fridays at 7:30 p.m. once a week, just like them good old days. Of like a month and a half ago. Also, don't forget to check out my socials. All my socials are listed in the description of the stream down below, so if you're watching live or if you're watching the VOD, you can check that out. We want a quicker way of accessing everything. I actually have a brand new chat command. I finally figured out how to set up chat commands in Stream Elements. So if you type !social, !SOCIAL, then you'll get the link to my Beacons landing page that's got all my social links, you know, this YouTube channel, my TikTok, my Twitter, my Instagram, all sorted out right there for you, in case you want to check those out if you're not following me on those channels already. I've been spending a lot of time on my TikTok recently. I've been really enjoying making many a Warhammer meme on TikTok, because it's fun and it doesn't, you know, make me stressed out or whatever. Neither does streaming, of course, but you know, it's pretty fun, pretty chill. We have a good laugh here and there, pretty good chuckle, pretty good chortle, if you will. And of course, you'll see the same shorts uploaded to my YouTube shorts as well. Gotta appease the algorithm somehow, you know. What else about it? Yeah, but you know, aside from the memes, now that we're back to streaming, I'm gonna be posting, you know, a bit more variety of content on there, you know, stream clips just like I used to do. Also some work in progress videos. That way, you know, if you ever miss a stream, you can always check out my TikTok, go see what we're working on, what's a work in progress, you know, see what progress we made, do a little recap for y'all on there. That way, next time you join us, you'll know exactly where we're at, which will be fine and dandy. Let's see, anything else I wanted to go over with you all before we hop back into this project? No, I don't think there is. One thing I will say, though, is, speaking of work in progress TikToks and the like, if you would not mind, y'all, I'm going to take just a quick second to film a little thing for ye old TikTok. So just give me 1 second here. Just gonna adjust my microphone real quick, adjust my microphone volume. All right. Just the microphone position. All right. I've been thinking all day about how exactly I'm gonna go about doing this, because I've never done like a live filming, I guess, before or anything like that. So I was thinking, like, do I want to incorporate face cam footage, blah blah blah, etc., etc. But you know what? We're just gonna go for ye old recording, I guess. Switch it to 3-minute mode. Okay. Y'all get to hear my more presentational voice right now, I suppose. And 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Christian here at Chimera Games. Just wanted to give a quick work in progress video to show how far we got on my most recent live stream. Our current project is this gorgeous Warhammer 40k Adepta Sororitas Castigator. We started off last stream, where we left off from last stream, with just doing a nice weathered patina paint job for the base coat, pretty much. I followed Midwinter Minis' tutorial on how to do this using Army Painter speed paint. It's a great YouTube video. Likely you've seen that video already if you're here on this channel, but if you haven't seen it already, definitely recommend it. Great creative way to use your Army Painter speed paints and to get a really cool paint job on your Warhammer tanks. And that's where we're going to stop for now, and we will film the other half when we have more progress to show later on. All right, gonna plug up my phone. All right, gonna take a quick sip of water. And with that, we are ready to jump back into it. And there she is, y'all. There is the Castigator. I'm still trying to figure out like a name for this tank, by the way, too. You know, something in the spirit of like Old Bessie or something like that, but something that's not like actually like Old Bessie. Have I seen the Midwinter Minis Tyranid video? No. I want to watch it though, Godzilla, because now that I'm interested in like potentially doing not potentially in painting up some Tyranids, I definitely want to check out that video, because I want some inspo on how to like arrange my color scheme, and that looks like it'll be a pretty good source of inspiration for that video. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Probably once I hop off stream for the night. Honestly, I'm probably gonna watch it right after. I did see a clip. Ooh, whew. Excuse me. I did see a clip though that he posted on his TikTok of like the worm colored Tyranids. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I really liked how he applied like the texture paints and stuff to the model and like made it look like it came up from the ground by putting like grass tufts and stuff on it. I thought that was really cool. But no, I haven't seen the whole video though, but I'm definitely gonna watch that at some point. Like I said, probably as soon as I hop off stream tonight, I'm probably gonna go and watch that. So the first thing I'm gonna do before we go do anything else is I'm gonna apply just a pretty generous dry brushing all around the tank just to make the edges of the model pop a bit more. So just wanted to be a little bit brighter. I'm guessing you've seen the video Godzilla Nid. What did you think of it? Did you find any inspiration in it for your own nids? Alright, just make sure our dry brush is nice and prepared. Try that on the hand here. Need to rub out a little bit more of the paint. Let's see. Alright, that should be good. Alright, we're just gonna apply this generously all over the model, making sure it catches our raised edges. I thought it was good, but I've already got a scheme I'm happy with. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you are very satisfied with your color scheme, my good friend. There's this guy in my gaming group who told me that he literally had a friend of his who studied art history at one of the colleges here in the city. I think it was actually like at Hunter College or something like that. And he walked him through like all sorts of like the history of color theory and everything, because he wanted to do a Renaissance inspired Adeptus Custodes paint scheme, which I was like, dang, that sounds like really awesome. Because you think about like, you know, how the Custodes themselves are like ancient, and how like regal the Renaissance, like how regal of a vibe the Renaissance itself gives off. I'm like, that's perfect. That's a genius idea for the Custodes. So he had his friend help him pull like a bunch of art references and stuff to help him like put that together. I thought that was really cool. Hey Jordan, good to see you, bro. Thanks for joining us. How have you been, good sir? Welcome back to the stream. It's been a while, yeah? Alright, gonna reload this brush a little bit. Okay, that should be good. What scheme were you thinking of doing for the nids? Glad you asked. So let me explain. So in order to explain the color scheme, I guess I have to sort of explain the dream I had that inspired the color scheme to begin with. So basically, what had happened in this stream, so bear with me for a second because this is going to get kind of weird and kind of complicated, as most streams are. So let me just adjust my microphone. Been good? That's good to hear, Jordan. That's good to hear, man. I'm glad you're doing all right. How's work been treating you? Are you still flying back and forth between home and Florida? Hey, Gray. Thanks for hopping in. Welcome, welcome. What was I saying? Yes, Godzilla. So, in the stream last night, I was trapped in a hotel. Well, I say trapped in a hotel. I had been in a hotel, this random hotel. I'm assuming it was like, in my mind, I assumed it was Italy, but the truth was I didn't know like where in the world I really was. But I was in this hotel, and what we'll say is Italy, right? And I had been there for like months, according to like the memory I had in the dream at least. And I was just walking around exploring, and I suddenly became self-conscious of the fact that I was in the hotel by myself. And so I started like looking around, looking for people, right? And I go down, I'm like looking like all through all the floors, all the rooms, trying to find any sign of life in this hotel room. And I go downstairs to the basement to like where the hotel furnace is, right? And I see this I literally see a Tyranid warrior. He's just chilling. He's just like, he's not like hostile or anything. This Tyranid warrior is just down there tending to the furnace. He's got like an apron on like a blacksmith, and his like claws are like glowing red from like sticking them into the furnace. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like he looks so cool. His claws like all glowy and shit, or something. I said to myself in the dream. I say to myself in the dream. So then I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, I want to do like a fire and brimstone inspired color scheme where basically like the flesh of my Tyranids is going to be like a pale flesh, maybe like grayish color. The carapaces for the most part I think will be like a charcoal gray or like a black, and then I want to incorporate like some red or reddish, orangish, yellow kind of blend, maybe like an ombre for like the claws and stuff, as if they had just like dipped them into fire, kind of like in like the areas you would find like pink on like a Leviathan High Fleet color scheme, you know what I'm saying? That's the first. I just realized that's the first time since I've had this idea that I've tried to describe it out loud verbally. But you get hopefully you get the idea. That is, in fact, the plan for now. Did I befriend him? Yeah, you know what? He gave me some tea, and I was like, dude, thank you. It was like nice and hot and fresh. I was like, dang, this is pretty sick. You're a nice dude. But then my alarm went off, and I woke up, and I was like, damn it. I was having fun talking to my new friend. Then I had to go to work, which was fine. Work was alright. Work was work, you know. And yeah, so anyway, that's the story of how my weird ass dreams inspired a whole brand new color scheme. Oh, also too, I forgot to point out, I went ahead and magnetized my Castigator already. Usually this is like the absolute last thing I'll do when painting something, but because I had to try and move with this Castigator, I wanted it to be able to go into my case so I could like transport it more safely. So I went ahead and magnetized it anyway, which should be fine. That really shouldn't get in our way at all as we continue forth with this painting endeavor of ours. Okay. Also, please forgive any audio-visual flub-ups tonight, y'all. I'm getting used to this this new setup of mine, of course. I'm getting used to all the new angles and whatnot that I have to, like, you know, point shit at and whatnot. I'm not used to having, I'm not used to having this much space to work with, actually. So I can get a little carried away with how far off, out of frame I am. Which ideally, of course, I wouldn't actually do. How Genestealer Cult Seed Tyranids. Yo, speaking of Genestealer Cults, I hear right now they are pretty wicked in 10th edition. I didn't read up on the full article. I didn't read up on their index or their faction focus, but I hear they got some kind of like wacky not wacky, but like, no, actually it's pretty wacky. Some like pretty like, not busted, but pretty powerful respawn mechanic now. Where like the hybrids and like the cultists can just kind of like get up at the end of a turn or something like that. And I'm like, damn. I've heard it described as Necron reanimation protocols, but better by some. Some people are really some Necron players are really happy with the new reanimation protocols, by the way. And after I read the Necron Codex since I own, not the Necron Codex, I read the Necron Index since I own Necrons, and I gotta say, Necrons made out like a bandit, not gonna lie. They got a lot of nice things with their new data sheets and with their new rules. Shit was pretty fucking epic. All right. So. That does it for the dry brushing step. Let me just wipe this off real quick. I think you can redeploy them at full strength or yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, you can put them back into your deployment zone at full strength, which is just wow. Okay, cool. Like I said, I haven't had my first game of 10th edition yet, but I suspect that whenever I do have my first game of 10th edition, it's going to be either against Genestealer cults or it's going to be up against Chaos Space Marines. Both of those factions have become pretty prominent in my gaming group. Some of them were like picking up Chaos Space Marines just barely at the end of 9th, and now like that they are looking pretty solid. They're planning on going full force into them. So that'll be fun to face, because Chaos Space Marines were a bit of a nightmare for sisters toward the end of 9th edition. But you know, we got some nice things. Got some really nice buffs, I will say, to Miracle Dice. We can earn a lot more of them now, and we can re-roll them for the first time ever, which is like, or the first time in my memory, which is pretty freaking rad. Okay. So now that we're done with our dry brushing step, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my size 0 brush here. I'm going to go with the same pure white I just sort of dry brushed everything with. Not sort of dry brush, that I did just dry brush everything with. Hold on, give me 1 second. There we go. There's some random sprue in there that I didn't realize I had left in there by mistake. Whoopsie daisy. But yeah, we're going to take the same pure white that we were just using. And we are going to go in with this, and we're going to use this to highlight the edges in our sort of like patina right here, kind of like the bottom edges right here, like where's a good patch to do this on, to show this on, like right here, for example. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go, like, sorry, all this is all flipped for me. This patch right here, we're gonna highlight the edges of this patch to sort of give it a more realistic look, pretty much, is what our plan is. Oh god, Godzilla, your friend plays Eldar? Oh no. Oh no, I'm so sorry, friend. Tell me, does your friend own multiple fire prisms, specifically three or more fire prism tanks? For those of you who don't know, the issue with Eldar fire prisms is they got this new mechanic that lets them share line of sight with each other. So basically, they can fire at you from anywhere as long as at least one of the other fire prisms can see you, which means you can always just like, you can send out like, you know, 2 into the field, keep 1 in the back, and the 1 in the back, no matter where the enemy is going to be able to shoot as if it has line of sight on the target, which is just busted. And it was like literally as soon as like, and you can tell it's busted because it took like the Eldar player base like less than a day to figure out that combo, or to figure out that that like little trick, that little index trick. And I'm just like, sheesh, y'all, give us a break. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna turn my lamplight down a little bit so y'all can see things a bit better. That's another cool thing that this lamp can do, by the way, that my old one couldn't. aside from being just brighter and higher quality, it also has a dimmer, which is very useful. Godzilla, if your friend does in fact have 3 fire prisms, good luck, my friend. Good frickin' luck, because sheesh, you are going to need it, my guy. You are going to need it. Alright. Might zoom in a little bit for y'all too. Yeah, let's hit that up real quick. Bit of that zoom. There we go, nice. Alright. Get a little bit of detail work in. Even though we're still very early on in our process here. We're gonna try and hit up as many of these as we can without going too overboard, because I don't want to make it too... I don't want to try and make it so realistic that it starts looking unrealistic again, but also, like, who cares that much about realism, really? This is a Warhammer tank, after all, so we're not gonna stress ourselves out too much over realism. I don't even know what realism really means when it comes to Warhammer. Quite frankly, I don't think there's any such thing. So we're just gonna do what we want to do here. Gray says, wow, the upgrades. Yeah, I know, right, fam? I know, right? By the way, chat. HD, I'm dead. By the way, chat. Gray, I'm gonna have to embarrass you for a little bit, but Gray's birthday is this coming Tuesday, isn't it? So if you feel so inclined, wish our fantastic moderator Gray a happy birthday in the chat, happy early birthday in the chat, because they deserve some cheers, I believe. Happy birthday, Gray. Happy early birthday. Thanks for being such an awesome friend and awesome moderator. Okay, I think we're gonna hit up this part right here. I'm gonna zoom out just a way. Okay, perfect. Alright, so let's do like this. Yeah, that's a good edge to catch right there. We'll catch this one right here too. Catch this one right here. Okay, let's rotate around. Look for some on the back side right here. Got a pretty good candidate area right here. Okay. Reload our brush a little bit. Gray says, please no. I fear the stream delay worked against your favor tonight, Gray, because I didn't see that message in time. So I went ahead and gassed you up anyway. What are you gonna do about it? Gets banned by his own moderator on his own channel for being a silly goofy goober. Imagine if that were possible. Imagine if, like, by a super majority vote of all your moderators, you could get, like, evicted from your own channel. That'd be kind of funny. It'd be kind of hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. Well, thanks for sending up the birthday wishes, y'all. Thanks for helping me celebrate my friend a little bit. Maybe lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Sorry, every time I dip into my southern accent, I gots to do that song just a little bit, you know. When I dip into that Alabama southern accent, you know. The accent I grew up around for a pretty decent chunk of my life, actually. Both sides of my family are from Alabama. That's where both sets of grandparents currently live. So, you know, I hear it a lot. Especially around the holiday time. Okay. Hmm. Hey, Nikki, welcome in, fam. Glad you can make it. Thanks for joining back with us, fam. It's been too long. Hope you've been well this entire time. Right now we are just doing a little minor detail work on the whole of our castigator right now. Trying to outline the edges of these like weathered patches here so I can make it look a bit more, basically so I can make it pop a little bit more. Gonna also do a little bit of these edges too. Do a little bit of that edge, and then we will... Good, I'm glad to hear you've been doing well. How's painting your copy of Leviathan going? You got Leviathan, right, Nikki? I think I remember seeing on your Instagram that you got a copy of Leviathan. Let's see. Then we're gonna get a little bit of an edge highlight here. Let's see. Where are some other patches to hit up? Ah, here's one right here. Well, there are a bunch of good ones up and down this side. And on the front here. Yeah, it's going good. Taking a break. Good. Nice. I actually just picked up my copy of it today. Ultralord and I decided to go halvesies on the box. I decided to claim I wanted the Tyranids and he wanted the Space Marines, so we went halvesies on the box. Went and picked up from my local game store today. They had plenty of copies. Like, they had way more than I anticipated them having. They had like 10. They had like 10 available, and I was like, oh wow. That was pretty sick, I thought. I was like, dang. Here I was thinking that that if I waited too long I wouldn't be able to get my hands on a box anytime soon, and they had plenty. So I was pretty happy about that. Yeah, excited to paint the Nids. Nice. Yeah, me too. I'm really excited about the Nids. I really like my favorite unit from my two favorite units from the Tyranids. The Tyranids half of the box are the Neuro Tyrant and the Screamer Killer are my two favorites. Yeah, the Winged Tyranid Prime's pretty cool too. I'm particularly excited about those first two. And let's see, that should be good for now. Let me see, might actually do a little bit of highlight around here. There's kind of no defined edge right here, but we're gonna do our best to sort of follow this shape. Okay, might have to go back and clean that up a little bit later. That's fine. We keep going. So fuck it. We ball. Okay. Let's see. Gonna hit this one up right here. Man, oh man. I've missed painting so much. This entire time I've been gone, I haven't done any painting. Just because I've been like, so first of all, exhausted from dealing with all like the life stuff. especially when it came to fighting off the cockroach infestation, not infestation, but the cockroaches that were in my apartment. And also work just being incredibly busy too. Summer is a really busy time for my job. Get lots of phone calls, lots of emails. That's what happens when you work in college admissions, I guess. It was surprisingly easy to get a box. Stuff was available on the website for like 4 hours. My local game store had a few copies, and they were a bunch at Gamescom. Nice. Yeah, it looks like gratefully and thankfully, Christian, those are redundant terms. It looks like Games Workshop really did like come through on the production front for everybody, which was good. I don't know a single person who... Yeah, oh god, Nikki, yes, oh my god. So let me tell you the story, right? So, do a little bit of story time while I'm painting here. So, the week after my last stream, I was moving some stuff up to my new place, because I basically moved everything like bit by bit until everything was eventually over here, because I don't have a car here in the city, and renting a U-Haul was going to be really expensive. So I just moved stuff sort of bit by bit as best as I could, and the yeah, it was bug hunt, but yeah, it was also a big hunt too, and I'll explain why here in a little bit, Nikki. So on that first day when I was moving some stuff in, I come in and I see a few, and by a few I mean exactly 8 dead or dying cockroaches all over the apartment floor. There were like 2 in the living room, 1 in the kitchen, there was like 3 in the bathroom, and 2 in my bedroom area where we happen to be right now. And at first I was like, oh, but then I realized oh wait, all of you are dead or dying. I'm like, wait, how are all of you dead or dying? And the answer is, thankfully, my apartment had already been treated by an exterminator. I mentioned this at the top of stream, but in case you missed it, basically the exterminator for my building comes by once a month on the first Saturday of every month. So it was actually like, it was actually a pretty much like a pretty straightforward thing to get rid of them, because all I had to do was like, sweep up the ones that were dead, finish off the ones that weren't dead yet, and then clean them all up and stuff. But then, as like the days and weeks went by, every day I'd like come home from work and I'd find a new one. Maybe not every day, but like every 1 to 2 days I'd find like a new one. Did I eat them? No, absolutely not. Oh, goodness, no, I could never imagine. Believe it or not, one time when I was, this is a complete aside, but one time I did try fried, a family friend of ours, one time when we were in Alabama visiting my grandparents, who I mentioned earlier, a family friend of ours had us try, fried grasshopper. It was... Yeah, it was. It just was. No, it was pretty harrowing. I did not enjoy that experience at all. But anyway, going back to this, so yeah, so like it was such that, like I said, it wasn't like an infestation, because like, infestation levels when you're seeing like 4 or more of them all at once every day, basically. I only saw like 1 or 2 every couple of days, right? And like every day I would like come home and I'd find like a new one, again, dead or dying, thankfully, but sometimes they'd be alive. It got to the point where like I started keeping a can of Raid by the front door so that I could grab it when I get home, and I would just walk around the entire apartment checking literally every nook and cranny to find a cockroach, and then if I found one, I would kill it with the Raid. And this went on for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, until I finally went and got some traps from my local Target, because I live nearer to a Target now, which is very exciting. Said the knit, free snacks, said the Tyranid. Yeah, that's funny. And now here we are a couple weeks later, and the traps seem to have worked. I haven't seen one in like 8 or 9 days, which was a relief, to put it mildly. But yeah, for a while there, it was kind of dicey. It was like that, having to try and like do my best to get this apartment just like nice and arranged and like get settled in. Built some new furniture. I got like this desk that I'm, you know, painting this tank on right now, which was fine. You know, that was like pretty straightforward. You know, it wasn't super difficult or anything like that, but it just took a while. But yeah, settling back in after a big move. That took a lot out of me. But here we are. About a month or so later and doing pretty alright. Cannibalism is based. I'm dead. Oh, Godzilla Nid, you're a funny guy. Okay, we're almost done with these, like, highlights on our base coat here. I'm just gonna hit a few more edges that are catching my eye, that I see are sort of catching the light as I rotate the model around. Maybe do these rivets right here too. And then we'll soon be on to what I would like to refer to as the main event for our painting this evening, which is going to be, I think right about now. I think we're good to move on now. Okay, so hey, what's up, gamer? What's up, Zeal? How you doing? Good to see you. Nikki says, the other day I was in my garage and I saw a larva of some kind fall from the ceiling. Oh my god. From the ceiling onto the corner of my desk and then squirm off the desk. Couldn't find it after that, so I left for a few hours. Dang, only a few hours, huh? I probably would have left for a few weeks at that point. My goodness. Oh. Jeez Louise. Some type of larva. Yeah, I bet it was all like wiggly and shit. You know what movie I blame for catching me off guard with bugs and stuff? The Lion King. They made bugs look so good in that movie. I'm not even kidding. Like, why did The Lion King make bugs look so good, only for them to actually be so terrible for the most part? Nikki again with the "did you eat it" questionnaire. I'm dead. Yes, yeah, and the Lion King deceived an entire generation of children into thinking that bugs are cute. Mostly. When in reality, they are not. They are evil. Except for you, Godzilla and other Tyranids. I support my Tyranid ally. I am an ally to Tyranid kind. Kinda. Oh my god, please don't quote me on that. However, the cockroaches that were once intruders in my apartment can, fuck off. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the little ASMR. Hope y'all enjoyed the little ASMR moment right there. Anyway, okay, so like I was saying before, long time ago when we were first starting this project, I said that I wanted to make my my sort of metallic parts like the cannon barrels and the sconces on this side right here, and also what else? And also these I decided these statues are going to be like made of like copper too. I wanted them to look like oxidized copper. So that is what we are going to actually work on right now. A Bug's Life. Okay, this is gonna sound so sinful of me, Gray, but I've actually never seen A Bug's Life. It's weird because it's actually the only Pixar movie, except for Elemental, because that just came out. But yeah, A Bug's Life is actually one of the 2 Pixar movies I have not seen. Why have I not seen it? I honestly do not know. I could not tell you. I feel like it's just not as proliferated as a bunch of the other Pixar movies are, even the ones that are like just about as old as it, like the Toy Story franchise, obviously. Because remind me, was A Bug's Life first? Was A Bug's Life the first Pixar feature, or was Toy Story the first Pixar feature? I don't remember which one came first. God, I used to be a Pixar trivia maniac, and now I can't even remember which one of those 2 came first. But anyway, while we're getting that settled, we are going to grab our turquoise, or light turquoise actually. I'm gonna shake this up a bit. Don't worry, y'all, I did not forget about shaking my paints on screen. Yeah, Gray, I know, I'm bad. Toy Story came first. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you, Zeal. Thank you. Because Toy Story is often credited as like the first fully 3D animated film or something like that, isn't it? All right. Gotta really give this turquoise a good shake. I've literally, not only have I never used it, but it's also just been sitting unshaken for like a month, maybe 2 months at this point. They chose toys because their plastic skin worked with the early rendering. Yeah. I remember that bit of trivia. Yes. Okay. But basically, so in order to create this like corroded copper effect that we want, we're gonna first start off by laying down base coats of light turquoise to represent the copper that's already been oxidized, and then from there we're gonna layer on our metallics and some other paints to give it a bit more of a realistic look. Mick says Bug's Life was first. Wait, huh? Wait a second. I feel like that's actually the correct answer. Because it came out like the year before, right? Supposedly. It's got to be the right answer. Also, hi, Mick. Glad you're watching along, too. Alright, let's see. Here we go. Alright. I'm gonna use my big size, what's this, size 5 brush for this part. Gonna thin that down a little bit. Nice, it looks nice and thin. Mick was wrong. Aha! Okay, no, it was Toy Story. Copy that. Copy that. All right. Oh, that turquoise is so pretty. This is my first time actually seeing this applied to a model. I like this. Oh, wow. This looks really nice, actually. All right. Nice. Gotta be very careful not to get this on any part of the model that it's not supposed to be on, of course. Toy Story 95, Bug's Life 98. Ah, okay, gotcha. I guess the reason why I was like so ready to believe that A Bug's Life came first is because like looking at the two, like thinking back to clips of A Bug's Life that I've seen, right? Like the animation actually looks kind of like inferior, I have to say, to Toy Story. Like for some reason, A Bug's Life doesn't seem to like, it just doesn't seem to really hold up as well as Toy Story. I don't know. Maybe someone more in the know about A Bug's Life itself will actually have a more accurate take on that. And actually, you know what? I'm going to make this a lot easier on myself. I'm just going to pop that off real quick so I can access the underside. Here we go. Smarter, not harder, friends. Smarter, not harder. Also, if one of you, my beautiful friends, would be so kind as to try this out for me. I tried including a new stream command, my actual first stream command for use on stream. If you could type !social in the chat and see if it responds, just to make sure that it works. I haven't actually had the chance to test it out yet. That would be great. If it doesn't work, then of course, as always, you can find all my social links in the description of this live stream, or the VOD if you happen to be watching this later. And as always, friends, if you're watching and you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Christian. Welcome to Chimera Games. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, so that way you can support my channel, please. Don't forget to hit the notification bell too, that way you know exactly when we go live. We are going to be going live every week from now on Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on youtube.com/Chimera Games. Alright, stream elements, you're going to fuck me over again, or you're going to actually work this time? It looks as though stream elements has shat itself once again. That's okay. We'll fix that later. We will fix that later. The thing about Chimera is that he is very good at very drastic tonal shifts at any given moment in time. Or from, hey guys, welcome back to my channel to what the fuck Stream Elements. Anyway. Oh, it's better than Streamlabs, it's better than Streamlabs, it's better than Streamlabs, it's better than Streamlabs. But goddamn. Goddamn. Okay. This is coming along quite nicely, I think. I've got to get into all these little nooks and crannies. I'm glad that for as long as I've been away from painting, I have not forgotten how to thin my paints. Because that is something that took forever for me to figure out a decent technique in order to do. And I would have been very sad if I had. Thankfully, thinning your paints is something that once you get a feel for it, you'll never not have a feel for it ever again, really. With practice, it actually becomes rather intuitive. And there's no one right way to do it. Whatever method achieves the results that look best to you is the right one. And that's on that. Okay, let me think. Let me try. I'm gonna try going in with this brush. Might want to use a smaller one for this, but I want to just get into that one little nook right there. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Very nice. There we go. Excellent. Nikki, Godzilla and I were talking earlier about this, but what are your thoughts on some of like the rules changes? Oh, actually, I guess we didn't talk about this in like in a more expansive way. So Godzilla, feel free to chime in too. But like, what are some of your favorite, maybe least favorite rules changes, points changes, etc.? Maybe index buffs, nerfs for your armies that you. Oh wait, that's right, Nikki. You don't play the game as often. I just remembered that. Never mind. You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I don't know if you like plan on getting into the game with 10th edition or anything like that. But Godzilla, we'd love to hear from you though about what your thoughts on 10th edition are in terms of the rules for your armies, things like that. I know I sort of talked about mine very briefly earlier, but I did not ask you about yours. Okay, I think we're gonna go back over these barrels with another thin coat of this. I never play. I might though. Nice. Okay, time to get these really teeny tiny statues here on the back side. Okay. Alright, hold on. Gotta load up some more paint. Okay. I have so much paint on my hands. Glorious. Okay, we're gonna use a smaller brush for these actually. I've missed having the paint on my hands. The wind at my hair. The wind at my back. The sun in my face. I heard the box is good for combat patrol. Yeah, I heard it was pretty good for that too. I've also heard a lot of generally like very positive buzz about the new format for combat patrol. I really am happy that all the rules you need for it are free online. Also, shoutouts to Necron players again, by the way, for another W in the form of getting a new combat patrol box to play combat patrol with to begin with. That's pretty sick. The feedback I've heard on that is that generally Necron players feel like that new box is going to be a lot more usable for them. Like it's all around just a pretty solid box. So that's good for them. I'm happy for them. Alright. I gotta go. Have a good rest of stream, y'all. Aw, thanks, Gray. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks so much for tuning in, friendo. Okay, there we go. Ooh. We'll go back and fix that in just a wee. Just a wee. Last Cannon, Zoanthropes, Cookie Monster, Haru specs, and Old One Eye are really good. Yeah, I've heard a lot of buzz about the Haru specs. In fact, I think right now the Haru specs is even sold out online. I don't know if people were like rushing to buy it because of how good it is or what, but like, I thought it was kind of funny how shortly after the Xenos indexes were released and we got the Tyranids one, people saw how good the Haru specs was. That was around the time I noticed the Haru specs was sold out online. This is the way. Yeah, I've heard a lot of buzz about las cannons too. They're one of the things that I fear the most as a Sisters player. Just because we literally nothing we have can really truly survive against that. Not even Morven Vol anymore. Because they took away a lot of her like durability shenanigans with like cutting damage in half and stuff. But we can revive her now for 1 command point, which is pretty litty. Because Sister's got a new stratagem that lets you revive any Adepta Sororitas character once per game. So like each character in your army gets a free, not a free revive, gets a 1 command point revive with up to I think 3 wounds remaining because you like use miracle dice for it. You have to like discard miracle dice equal to the number of wounds you want them to come back with a maximum of 3. So yeah, so we have that at least, which is still pretty good. It's way better than the old Divine Intervention stratagem, which could only work on characters excluding those with the vehicle keyword, which means you couldn't use it on Morven Vol. But now that you can use it on Morven Vol, that makes it instantly better. The Haru specs and Exocrine are both in the same kit and are really good. I really love the Exocrine model. That's one of the other Tyranid models I want to get once I start painting up all the Leviathan stuff. Yeah, once I get into that, and once I get into my NIDs, I want to definitely hit up the Exocrine. Give that a shot. Okay. That looks pretty good for now. We're going to set that aside. We're going to grab a slightly larger brush now, and we're going to move on to these other statues. There's something else I saw. I don't know how good this model is in game, this unit is in game, but one I really thought was like really cool was the, I think it's called the Tyrannocyst. It's just like a big floating, the one that's just like a big floating blob. That one looks really cool to me. I definitely want to get that one too. And a Tyranid Harpy. Just because those look pretty cool. Alright. Getting our base coating going right here. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. I really like the way this turquoise is like standing out against the off-white. This is actually going pretty much exactly as I envisioned and hoped it would. Which makes me a happy camper. I've got some turquoise contrast paint waiting off screen right now too. We're gonna apply that on top of this once we get these coats solidified, just to give it some shade and also bring some definition back to these tinier little bits of the model too. It might look a little blobby right now, but that's also because the paint is still wet too and still needs to dry and settle into like the recesses and stuff and shrink around the model, because that's what acrylic paint is designed to do. That's why acrylic is the material of choice used in a lot of miniature painting paint manufacturers' paints. How many times did I say the word paint in just that sentence alone? I don't know. The exocrine gives +1 to hit onto something it shoots. So if it shoots 3 exocrine, so if I shoot 3 exocrines into your tank, if it survives. Oh wait, that's cumulative? Are you serious? Everything has +3 to shoot that tank. Oh my god. That's wild. Jeez Louise. What's like the average ballistic skill among models in the Tyranid army? Is it like a 4-up on average? Or is it like a 3-up? I'm assuming it's a 4-up, right? Correct me if I'm wrong though. Although I know you got like a couple units here and there that can hit on 2s. Dang, that's really powerful. Wonder if they're gonna errata that. Around most have 4s, but some of the bigger guys have 3s. Got it. Okay, cool. That makes sense. That makes sense, because they are bugs after all. Let me think. By the way, you mentioned earlier, and the rules being free online is so huge. Yeah, I agree. That is actually a really huge thing. I'm really happy that they took strides to make the rules more free and accessible to everyone, just because that's gonna not only make it just easier to, you know, just for returning players to access the new edition, but also just, of course, to bring new players into the game, which I am personally very excited about, because between y'all and me, I think every person I know should play Warhammer 40k and just tabletop war games in general. I decided that I was going to do the little like detail right here. I decided last minute, as in just now, that I'm going to also make those copper, so I'm going to actually attempt to paint these. Hopefully not mess up too badly here. Which brush am I using? Is this a size 2? Okay, that should be fine. I can do some pretty decent detail work with the size 2 brush. Usually. Though what does usually mean? It's been a minute since I last painted anything. Man, I love painting so much. But yeah, no, Nikki, yeah. The rules being online for free, it's huge. It's big. Like, what makes me really happy too is that means that like if something ends up being like incredibly broken in the game, that means they're gonna have a much easier time like fixing it and getting the message out there to people. Some would argue that this is like all bare minimum in the 21st century, and I'd feel inclined to agree with that. But you know, it's here now. I'm grateful for it. Ain't gonna complain too much about things that are past. we spend so much time painting these models anyway instead of playing with them. It's like, what's the point in complaining about it? By the time you finish an army and it's ready to go, the rules might have changed like 3 times. That's why it's so important. That's why, you know, to the new players who are watching maybe the VOD or the live stream right now, to the newer players, this is why it's important to pick an army that you really enjoy painting and you really enjoy the look of, because you're going to spend 80 to 85% of your time minimum painting your models instead of playing with them. And in that time, the rules can change, armies can get buffed, they can get nerfed, which is why, you know, game power in the game is only really a very secondary and, dare I say, tertiary reason to choose an army. It might not even be relevant at all, quite frankly. Hey, Isabel, thanks so much for joining. Happy to see you. No worries about being late. Glad you're able to join us anyhow. How you doing? Just working on implementing the copper bits of our castigator right here. Doing some minor detail work here. Starting off with a nice turquoise base coat for all the parts we want to be copper. Because I want to do like a corroded copper or oxidized copper. Look, not corroded, corroded something different. Different chemical reaction. Here we go. I'm okay. Had to deal with dog care. Oh, what's wrong with the dogs? Did you just have to take them for a walk or something? Are they okay? I hope they're okay. Oh, thanks for the compliment, babe. Nothing, I just had to walk and feed them and Romeo got mud all over me, so I had to take a shot. Ah. Classic booger. That little booger. I miss him though. Tell him I said hi, please. This is looking pretty good so far, I'd say. Making a few mistakes here and there, but nothing we can't correct. A little bit of effort later on. Will do. Appreciate that. Oh, something in my eye right there. Let's see. Sisters models really do have so many nice little details to pick out. Like these little statuettes and things. I will figure out why Stream Elements farted out on us here tonight at some point. Whatever it is that's holding like Stream Elements and other like and just live streaming on YouTube in general back, I feel like it's gotta be something on YouTube's part. Something they're not like granting websites like Stream Elements and the like access to in order for them to be able to improve their services. And I just wish YouTube, whatever changes they would need to make in order to like make that so, I wish they would make them. Because I like streaming on YouTube, because YouTube is where all of you are. I wouldn't want to switch to another platform just because of the better features necessarily. I want this website to be the hub for all the content I create, especially when I eventually start making videos. Eventually. Emphasis on eventually. I got lots of ideas for videos that I want to make. Just need the time to film them. Which I suspect I'll have soon, but for now, we do what we can to share the hobby that we love so much. Right here at youtube.com/ChimeraGames. Okay. Let me see. I forgot the really useful thing about live streaming mini painting is you can look at your computer monitor and get a bit of a closer look at what you're looking at. A bit more of a magnified look. It's like a free with an asterisk, magnifying lens. Also, how's music volume, chat? That's not like too low or anything, is it? You really like the color scheme on that? Oh, thanks, babe. Me too. I think it's gonna look really good once it all finally comes together. I'm really excited for all this to come together soon, and it will be soon. It'll be very soon here. This will all finally come together. Music is good. Thanks, Godzilla Ned. Perfect, perfect. All right. Yeah. That should be good. Okay. Thankfully, these textures right here are raised enough to the point where, like, they catch the brush really easily, so they kind of just guide it for me. I don't have to really do a lot of work to try and trace them super precisely. In fact, I'm not really tracing it at all. I'm kind of moving the brush perpendicularly to the pattern and just letting the paint catch on as I'm painting, so it just all sort of falls into place. Kind of like as if I was like, I guess you can say like doing like a pseudo dry brushing type situation without dry brushing. It's like the same sort of similar technique to that which makes dry brushing work, more or less. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take a minute to correct that mistake that I just made. I think it should still be wet enough for me to just flat out remove it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Oh, by the way, Nikki and Godzilla, did y'all see that? I don't know how like into Army Painter products y'all are, but did you guys see that they're doing a giveaway on their YouTube channel? They're trying to reach 100,000 subscribers basically, and once they hit like certain milestones, they'll give away like a select number of Army Painter products. I think right now, since they hit 40k, the first prize is a few copies of a wet palette, which, I don't know, y'all probably don't need wet palettes at this point, but I think the grand prize, once they finally reach 100,000 subscribers, is going to be an entire rack of entire hobby rack of speed paints, which, not gonna lie, that sounds like it'd be pretty poggers to win. Odds would be astronomically slim, but who knows? Army Painter. Yeah, they are. Check. Yeah, Godzilla. You got to check out their channel if you haven't, man. You gotta go. You gotta go check it out. You gotta go check it out at some point and enter. I think all you have to do is like. I think all you have to do really is subscribe and then also like the announcement video too. Like and leave a comment on the announcement video too. And that is your entry. Yeah, I went ahead and entered my hat into the ring. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe at some point in the near future, if I win that, maybe you'll see an army painter rack in the background of my stream and my face cam right here. Oh, I kind of want that. Yeah, I know, right? That's literally when I was at work. What was it, yesterday? And I saw that announcement. I literally said that exact same thing to myself. I was like, oh. I kind of want to get in on that actually. Like, wait, hold on. Like this could be pretty good. This could be pretty good here. Made another whoopsie right here. Gonna clean that up real quick. Okay, there we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I just realized that there is some more of the little vine details, the ornamentation right here by the doors to the Castigator. So we're gonna paint those into, yeah. Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Okay. Oh, and there's some on the front right here too. I almost forgot about that too. Gonna add that into, gonna block that out real quick. I gotta get some on the turret too. These don't have to be fully well traced because also these are probably going to catch a lot of copper paint later when we get to that too, so we won't stress ourselves out too much about that right now. Okay. What time is it? Oh, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. Perfect. Gotta remember that means we've only been on for an hour and a half now, not 2 hours. Godzilla says already got some speed paints, but more is always good. I agree. More speed paints. More speed paints never hurt anyone. Quite the opposite, in fact. I'm a really big fan of speed paints. I like how much more accessible they make painting. In quite the literal sense too, just because it doesn't require as much fine motor control to use speed paints as it does like regular paints. You still need some motor control, of course, but like, you know, the paint, you know, like many people say, the paint kind of paints itself because of how it flows and whatnot, how it seeks out all the crevices and gives you that automatic shade. That automatic shade. All very useful stuff, you know? Just trying to erase a couple mistakes I made right here. If we can't get them right now, that's fine. I would suggest joining the Tyranids Discord if you're going to be collecting nids. There are a few people that do similar schemes to what you want to do. Big bet, yeah. More inspiration would be great. If you got a link to that Discord, Godzilla Nid, I'd appreciate it if you dropped it in the chat. And I will hop in there and check it out at some point. Okay. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna go back to the turret right here. I used contrast paints for the first time the other night. A lot of fun. I feel like Nid models were made for speed paint and contrast paint. Yeah, absolutely, because of like all their different, like, you know, nooks and crannies, the way they have what the angle of like their carapaces and whatnot, the way those are molded. Yeah, I agree, Nikki. I think Tyranids are a great target for speed paints and the like. Here we go. Godzilla says, here you go. Thanks so much, Godzilla. Appreciate you. Hop in there after once we get to a stopping point here tonight. Okay. Then we gotta get these ones right here on the front too. Yeah. All right, that should do it for that. All right. Just gonna wipe off my brush here real quick. Going to take a minute to just, gonna take a minute real quick to just wipe my hand off right here. Get some paint on there, off my finger. So I don't wanna potentially taint things as I go. And also take a quick water break too. Water breaks are very important, friends. Don't forget to stay hydrated. The water bottle dropped, by the way. That was excellent. Let's see what is going on here on my computer. Okay. We are still rolling. Perfect. Okay, cool. Oh, iTunes wants to update itself. How about no? I'm literally using you right now. Please do not update yourself. Thank you. How are we doing tonight, y'all? Y'all doing all right? Hanging in there? I hope y'all are having fun like I am. Like I said earlier, I've sincerely missed this so much. I've missed y'all so much. I forgot how much joy this brings me, truthfully. I've been feeling lately like something's been missing from my life. Like my life has been feeling severely out of whack and out of balance lately. And it's like, Christian, you haven't spent any time on your favorite hobby in like a month, bro. That's exactly why you feel out of whack and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, that will probably do it. That'll do. But yeah, I'm really happy to be back here with y'all. Thanks for joining me tonight, you guys. Sorry I was away for so long. Currently hunting bugs in my room while watching. Ah, jeez. Good luck, soldier. Okay. I've made the executive decision that this needs a little bit more turquoise, and to that end, I'm going to be... Oh, there it is. I was looking for my size 5. I think we're going to need to paint... Oh, thanks, Isabel. I'm going to paint the... I'm going to do the sconces copper too. Nikki says, I'm happy you're back. I enjoy the entertainment while painting. Oh, I'm so glad, fam. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to have all of y'all's support too, all the while as well. It means a lot to me, guys. Thank you so much for supporting me in the short time my channel here has been around. It's been a blast hanging out with y'all, and I look forward to doing it much, much more in the future too. All right, let's get back into it. So, yeah, I decided that these are going to be copper too. Now, let's see. I've decided that these are going to be copper, but they're probably not going to be as oxidized. Because I can't remember if something, well, obviously if something burns, it's consuming oxygen, right? So, if the fires that were theoretically in these sconces burned oxygen, would that then mean that they were less oxidized than other parts of the tank, or maybe more because like they're being fueled by it? You know what, fuck it, it's just a tank, it's just a pretend tank. I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. Fuck realism. And also, I'm going to do blue fire on the inside too, so it's actually good that I'm painting this turquoise right now, because what this is going to help me out with is it's going to help me out with getting like the little bits of like blue and shit poking through the holes later on, so I don't have to be as like careful and precise with it later on when I go back and do that. I'm so excited for how this is going to turn out. I was not sure about how this would look once I started implementing it, but even though we're like literally at like stage 0 with this right now, I'm already really loving the way that this looks. This might be my favorite paint project that I've ever done. Hold on, give me 1 second here. Gonna go ahead and correct that mistake that I just made right there. It's a pretty gnarly one anyway. I'm just gonna soak that up. Do. Okay. Okay, hold on, here we go. Cool. Okay, getting into that one little side right there is gonna be a little tricky, but I think we can do it. Let me just reload my brush here a little bit, and then we're just gonna go right here. Turn the gun away so I don't get any turquoise paint on it. Cool, and now we just gotta get the top part right here. Okay. Okay. Looking pretty good. Let's see. Rotate that, rotate that. Nice. Oh, shit. Damn it, I touched that by mistake. Got paint on me fingies. Whoopsie daisy. No worries at all. It'll take a second to wipe that off before we go any further. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Alright, just gonna... I have some paper towel right here, actually. Wait, where did I put that? Where did I put that paper towel that I had? Here it is right here. Perfect. Just gonna wipe that off. There we go. Yeah. These are the things we must consider. These are the things we must consider because I do not have a paint holder capable of, a painting handle capable of holding an entire tank. So I gotta be extra special careful with when I get paint on my fingers. Because then if I get paint on my fingers and my fingers go directly onto the model, that paint is also getting directly onto the model as well. And that's not good. That is not good at all. Nopity, nopity, no. Noticing that this turquoise paint is separating rather aggressively. I wonder if that's because I'm using a wet palette or if because turquoise paints just behave like that. Kind of like how yellows can sometimes separate rather aggressively just by sitting there. And metallics too. Just all metallics, generally speaking, have a tendency to separate the longer they sit, especially on a wet palette. Nothing a quick little bit of mixing can't fix though. Let's see here. Probably just the paint unless there's water on the surface of your palette. Nah, there's no water on it. It's probably just the paint. Yeah, it's definitely just the paint at that point. You're right, Nikki, you're right. Hold on. Got a little bit of paint on there too. Let me grab this brush real quick and I'll just use it to correct that little mishap in it. Ah! Oh dear, I just got a ton of paint on my microphone. Hold on. That's what I get for putting my goddamn here. Hold on. It's on the mute button, by the way, so this is why I'm cutting in and out right now. Alright, it's not going to kill the microphone or anything like that. I'm not going to stress too much about that. Moving on. Thankfully, we're still very much... Your voice sounds slightly more blue now. Terrific. Was totally my intention, was fully by design. All about evolution, change, upgrading, escalating. Here at Chimera Games, and part of that means making our voice sounds blue. Making our voice sound blue. Yep. Yep. I don't want that to goop up right there. Put a little bit too much paint in that one little area. We will adjust that here shortly. There we go. Okay. Do. Okay. Correct that mistake real quick. Get that nice and moistened up there, and then we're just gonna, yep. There we go. I'll use this brush real quick to finish mopping this up because it's completely dry. There we go. There we go. Got it. All right. Cool. Awesome. Okay. There we go. Time is at 9:19. Perfect. We are making excellent time right now. We are making excellent time. We're making excellent time right now. Excellent time. Oh my god, you guys, I've meant to tell you. So, recently, I had an epiphany on my commute to work about how all of our cell phones are technically FM radios because every cell phone has an FM receiver in it. And so I was like, wait, I bet I could just download like a free radio app and just like listen to the radio if I wanted to. And I could. And I did. And I've been so happy because of it lately, because now I can tune into the news on my commute to work. Because my commute to work now is much longer than it used to be, it suffices to say. And No, it's just been really nice because I don't have cable or anything like that. And, you know, as much as like the news can be depressing nowadays, I also like, you know, being well informed and everything. So it matters a lot to me to be able to like have free access to news in a format that's like, you know, comfortable for me. And like radio I find is the most comfortable just because like, yeah, I know I'm like late to the party of that one a little bit, huh, Isabel? Yeah, no, it's been nice though, just having access to that. Radio is so severely underrated. I love radio. I love public radio. Just like I was a nerd for public television as a kid. Yes, I know. What? I feel myself becoming more and more of a public radio nerd as the days go by here lately. Okay. I have to be very careful now because I'm noticing I'm getting some extra pain on my fingers. News podcasts are an essential part of my morning routine. Absolutely, Zeal. What is it that you like to listen to, Zeal? And there's a mosquito in my room. That's okay. I'm just gonna pretend it's not there and hope it doesn't bother me. At least I have my painting to distract me from it. The Global News Podcast by the BBC. Nice. Very nice. Good old baby Shay in it. Terrific. Yeah. Oh my god, I totally forgot these fucking statues on the back of the fucking... Alright, we'll get those in a little bit here. I totally forgot about these boyos back here. They do a great job of actually reporting on different stories from around the world. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I just listened to WNYC here in the city because they got a lot of great, like, they do a lot of reporting on like news, not news. They do a lot of great reporting on news. No, they do a lot of good arts and like culture reporting. So like if there's ever like an event that might pique my interest and I'll never would have heard about it otherwise. I never would have heard about it otherwise. It likely would have come from WNYC. Because you can just find out about so many cool things on there. Which is nice, because I feel like the arts scene, ironically enough, is one of the hardest things to really like tap into here in the city. Like, the fact that I was able to find a group of people to consistently play Warhammer 40k with before I could like tap into the art scene here in New York City is saying something, I think, about the state of the art scene here in New York City. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay. I have a whatchamacallit to paint right about here. Turn the turret out of the way. Yeah. Gotta get the inside of that, like right there. Like right there. They have this this one really great program on WNYC, which to be clear is also in collaboration with NPR as well, called On Point. And the other night I was listening to On Point, and they were interviewing the head of global music at ByteDance, which for those of you who are in the know that is TikTok's parent company. and they had a really interesting conversation, I thought, about what it is like to be a music artist, a musician, or a band on TikTok nowadays, trying to use it as a vehicle for getting your group like exposure and like, you know, blowing up your plays on like Spotify and other streaming apps and stuff. And what I found most interesting about the conversation, first of all, the revenue generated by the usage of all those songs on TikTok is insane. It is freaking insane. They generate like billions of dollars in revenue. I mean, this is not a surprise to anyone, really, but like they generate like 80 billion with a B dollars in revenue last year. They generated that much last year. And yet it's interesting because TikTok only pays out, I think they said like only 150 million of that or something like that goes back to like the music distributors, like the labels, and thus goes to the artists whose songs are being used on TikTok. And like the interviewer, she pushed him really hard on that topic too. Like, okay, so like, where's all this money going? He's like, I can't either confirm or deny this and that. And I was like, very funny. But yeah, it's just crazy to think that much revenue is being generated on the tiny little clock app. He also like vaguely alluded to TikTok looking into not necessarily starting their own label, because they wouldn't have like the creative side of things, like, you know, like a producer to like help you like, you know, get your track recorded and whatnot. But it would be basically a label in terms of everything else, you know, marketing, promotion, things like that. And it'd all be done through basically like a separate companion app for TikTok. But he didn't share that many details about it. But I just thought it was all so interesting. They also talked about how like the current situation of like the one-hit TikTok wonder had evolved from like, you know, like the more classic, more old school notions of like a one-hit wonder and stuff. And how people have actually been doing that sort of thing where they find like the sound of the day and try to make a song that's as catchy and as like in line with that trend as possible. That people have been doing that for like ages. It's like just the same thing, but like, you know, in a different shape, which kind of reminds me of a different piece of media I consumed recently, which was if y'all know the YouTube, I mean, who doesn't know who Anthony Padilla is, on his YouTube channel where he does like I spent a day with blank videos. He did a video with Michael from Vsauce, another YouTube channel that I'm a huge fan of, and like, and one of the questions in one of the points of the interview, drop my paintbrush, Michael talks about like the proliferation of like short form video content in online platforms like YouTube, TikTok, etc., Twitter and shit, Instagram. And he talks about how, like, you know, people will look at that and be like, oh no, people's attention spans are shrinking, and people's attention spans are shrinking. Like, everyone's got to like have some sort of distraction on them. But then he also talked about too, like how back in the old days, you know, when two people would be sitting on a bench, like nowadays, you know, they'd be probably like on their phones while talking and shit. But like, you know, back in the day, people used to people watch and watch birds while sitting in the park and basically do the same thing, have like something else, like they'd be doing the same type of multitasking, you know. And yet we wouldn't say that like they had short attention spans or whatever. It's again the same thing, just with a different coat of paint on it, you know what I'm saying? And that, I don't know, that just got me thinking. In true Vsauce fashion, it just got me thinking about a lot of things, which like every Vsauce video I've ever consumed most certainly did for me. My favorite Vsauce video is the one on the illusion of time. That was the one where I learned, like, I didn't even realize that like Marilyn Monroe and like Queen Elizabeth II were actually the same age, and like if both were alive at the time the video was made, they both would have been like in their 90s. It was just like freaking wild to me. Or like how Rosa Parks was likely alive for the openings for the theatrical openings of both Shrek 1 and Shrek 2, which is again wild for me to think about. Do people have shorter attention spans, or are we now forced to split our attention in every direction? That's a good question, Zeal. I think it's probably the second thing. I feel like it's probably the second thing, especially because like I feel like advertising especially is so much more aggressive, but also not, because also like supposedly there have been federal regulations to rein that sort of shit in, or at least there were like in the 80s and 90s, especially as like children's media was becoming like huger and huger, and channels like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel were becoming a big thing. That reminds me, what oh gosh, which Defunct Land video was that? I think it was the Defunct Land video about either Legends of the Hidden Temple, or it might have been the one about Bear in the Big Blue House. Defunct Land has a in one of his videos, this isn't the main subject of the video, but he talks about, oh god, which one is it? In one of his videos, he talks about like the origins of like children's television and like the sort of moment it came out of in the late 80s, early 90s, where there's like sort of like a big panic about like violence in television and shit, and in movies and shit. And the FCC was like starting to clamp down on broadcasters and shit. Oh god, I gotta look back. It's like it's in my favorites. I gotta look back at that later at some point and figure out which video that is. But the history behind all that is very fascinating too. Almost done painting these pipes. These don't have to necessarily be the cleanest. I do want to be thorough though. I do want to be thorough. Also, I'll just say it one more time. Hey everybody, my name is Christian. Welcome to Chimera Games. Thank you so much for tuning in if you're new here, y'all, and you haven't, maybe you haven't spoken up in the chat or anything like that, but if you happen to be watching somewhere out there in the wild blue yonder, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm very happy to have y'all here. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you would please hit the subscribe button. That way you can support my channel. Don't forget to also like the live stream, y'all, as well, because the algorithm loves likes. Don't forget to hit the notification bell too, so that way you know exactly when I go live, which is every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here at youtube.com/Chimera Games. If you're interested in checking out my socials, all of those can be found in the description below. Check out my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, y'all. I am very active on TikTok, especially nowadays, which is probably why it was top of mind during our conversation before. Thanks so much, guys. Okay. Let's see here. Whew. Getting decent coverage on these. Ended up taking a little longer than I anticipated, but that's okay. Because of course, 'twill all be worth it. Stream liked. Thank you, Isabel. Your TikTok is a 10 out of 10. Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of fun over there on TikTok. We have a lot of fun. That reminds me, after we finish for the night, I'm going to make a work in progress video for this Castigator to put up on Zeal TikTok. Been doing my best to try and post at least once a day on TikTok, just because that's one of the best ways to grow on that particular platform. Constantly feeding the content monster. Om nom 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 nom. Oh my god, wait, Godzilla Nid, if you're still there, hear me out, right? Tyrannid color scheme. The TikTok colors, right? We can make it a nice little commentary on the current state of social media and the fight for all of our attention spans among advertisers. We are the product. We are the biomass. Dude, what if Tyrannids ran all the advertising firms of the world? Honestly, they'd probably get results. They know a thing or two about consumption and the endless, somewhat mindless droning, devouring of TikTok will eat you. Exactly. Oh god, am I gonna do that instead of the idea? No, I'm gonna stick with the idea that I wanted to do for my nids. Yes. Which, by the way, Isabel, speaking of, since I now technically own more Tyranids than you, if you ever want to like borrow mine to merge with your models to complete an army so you can play games, let me know. I will gladly lend High Fleet. I haven't thought of a High Fleet name, but I'll gladly lend my High Fleet to your cause. TikTok. Oh my god, Nikki, back at it again with the wordplay. Yes! Oh, I've missed it. So true. So true, friend. So true. Literally TikTok. Speaking of, I gotta check for ticks later. Ooh, it is tick season, y'all. Make sure if you're spending any amount of time around plants and grass, especially tall grass, make sure you are checking yourself for ticks. Especially if you live in the East Coast United States like I do. Please check yourselves for ticks, y'all. You'll be grateful that you did. Okay. Alright. OMG, yes, then we can play together. I'll have no idea what I'm doing, but you'll win. I will not win immediately. I am not that good of a player. Remember, my current record is 17-1. Not 17-1, that's really good. No, sorry. My current record is 1-17, as in I've won 1 game, lost 17 games. I'm not that good. I am not that good. And we're in a brand new edition now, so anything's possible, really, at this point. Anything's possible at this point, babe. Keep that in mind. Although, I guess you never played 9th edition, really. I need to get going to prep for our flight early tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your stream. Alright, Zeal, thank you so much for stopping in. Have a safe trip to California. Enjoy the sea lions, if you see them. Enjoy some good old greasy California fast. Oh my god, you guys, I just realized I did not even talk about one of the biggest, most exciting updates for me. So, I don't know if I've talked about this on stream before, but my favorite fast food joint, and I will die on this hill, despite its detractors, is Raising Cane's fried chicken. Raising Cane's, or just Cane's, as his friends know him by, is my favorite fast food place of all time. And y'all, they just opened their first location in the city here a couple days ago. It's been 3 days since it opened. I know, because I was there. They opened up their flagship New York City store in Times Square. And me and two of my very good friends, two of my closest friends, two of my best buds, we went there last night and feasted on our favorite fried chicken joint, because these two friends of mine, well, one of them is from Virginia like me. We knew each other from before we went to college here. And then our other friend, we met here at college, but they've been with us to Virginia to try canes. Not just to try canes, but they've been with us in Virginia. And man, it was so good. I was so worried that it wouldn't be as good here in the city as it is back down south in Virginia. But the truth is, it was just as good as I remember it being. I am so excited that it's here in the city. I will try so hard not to eat it every day for the sake of my health, of course. But it's going to be really hard to manage that, I'm not going to lie. Because it's just that good. Woo. It is just that good. And also, I gotta say too, shout outs to the people who work at that Cane's, because like, even though the line was like hella long, I moved through it so fast. Like, we were only in line for like 10 minutes despite the line easily having like over 100 people in it. Like, they were putting in the work back there behind the register at that Cane's. Shout outs to all of them. I hope they're getting paid well. Just gonna use my fingernail, honestly, to scrape this paint off. I think I let it dry a little bit too much. Scrape off what we can and then try to wash off the rest. There we go. I forgot I like this song. Haven't heard this one in a while. I guess I haven't heard any of these songs in a while since I haven't streamed in a while, but okay. Got a little bit more paint there to get rid of. All right. There we go. Nice. All right. So that's all the turquoise bits, or all the copper bits we want on the model blocked out. It is 9:43, so we got about 45 minutes left, so that gives us just enough time to apply some contrast Pterodon turquoise. We're going to use this to add some depth back to all the parts we just painted turquoise, and then we're going to reapply a pretty generous dry brushing, I'd say, of the original light turquoise paint that we just spent the last hour or so applying. And then after that, I'm going to layer on some deep sky blue to provide a bit of like a lighter highlight to the oxidized copper bits, and then we'll be ready to actually apply some of our metallic paint. We're going to use Castellix Bronze, which is a very nice, very pretty dark copper color, and one of my favorites in my collection, fun fact. So let me shake up this Pterodon turquoise, because like, I think I've literally never used this. So here we go. All right, gonna set the body of the tank to the side. Gonna go back to focusing on just the turret here. All right, and we're gonna grab our yeah, let's use this brush. Gonna use our size 5 brush. Make sure our brush tip is moist, but not saturated. I'm gonna reorganize my workspace here a little bit. Pop open this pterodon turquoise, cap facing away from everything in case anything flies out. There we go, nothing flew out. Excellent. I have no idea how this is going to look. I guess we'll find out soon enough here. Here goes something. I'm gonna make sure I thin that a little bit. Nice. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna work. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Just a nice, thin application of turquoise just to bring some definition. You can see right here the recesses toward the end of the barrel. You can see how these edges have had some definition restored to them, whereas like the ones on the bottom on this barrel, right, I'm trying to point properly, right here, don't really have that same definition. If you look like right here, that's the reason why we want to apply the pterodon turquoise everywhere, so we can get that definition in all of our oxidized copper bits. I decided not to thin it as much for this side just to see what that looks like, because I'm realizing that this pterodon turquoise is one of the contrast paints that are kind of already a little thin by default, so I don't actually need to do very much thinning with this, and I don't think I will, just so I can ensure that I get the effect that I want as strongly as I want it to be. I think I mentioned this a long time ago, way back when we first started streaming together, when we first started painting together, but the contrast line, not all contrast paints in the contrast paint range are created equal, and by that I mean some of them are thinner than others, some of them are thicker than others, and so you really have to like pay attention to how thick or thin the contrast paint is, and then adjust accordingly depending, in order to achieve the best results with each of them. This is a good thing to keep in mind when working with contrast paints. Yes. And this is working wonders. Wow, wow, wow. I'm happy that I've gotten to the point in like my painting journey where I can like think of an idea for like paints to use or whatnot, and then actually be able to pretty accurately visualize what it could look like or what it might look like in my head. Just having that ability to conceptualize has been very useful in just expanding like my creativity. Hey, Ultralord, welcome in, bro. Happy to see you. Was talking about you since you and I are splitting Leviathan and everything. Your name came up a few times. How you doing, man? I'm happy to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I'm sure you must be hella busy right now, so your time is very much appreciated, my friend. Uh-oh. Let's see here. What do I want to do with this? I think we're gonna have to go back and just paint over these later. I think that contrast paint is already drying, so we'll do what we can to get it off, and then if we can't get it all off, we'll just come back later, paint over it. I'm pretty good. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. Also check your Venmo after the stream. Ah, yes, speaking of splitting the box. Thank you, brother, man. Appreciate you, appreciate you. Yeah, we're just starting to paint all of our oxidized copper bits here on the Castigator. It's Been very exciting so far. Alright, that should be ready to go for the time being. Let's move to the body now. And I think we're still going to use big brush. Yeah, still going to use big brush. Gonna load this up with some more contrast paint. That's a bit too much contrast paint. Gonna thin my contrast paint. I should probably consider changing my water sometime soon, but I think we'll be fine for now, since it's all in the same bluish turquoise family. Cross-contamination of paints is of little concern. Need all the Infernus Marines I can get for the Sons of Vulcan. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. Speaking of, I hear Vulcan Histon is looking pretty spicy as a data sheet in 10th edition. Correct me if I'm wrong. That must be pretty exciting for you. Oh, cool. Have you seen the oxide effect paint that GW makes, or at least you used to? Yeah, I did see it. I did see that once a long time ago, way back when I first started getting into painting. I don't know if they make it anymore, though. Kind of wish they did. It would really come in clutch right now if they did. Hold on. Gotta erase a little oopsie daisy. They still make it? Oh, bet. We'll have to pop back into the game store at some point and see if I can get me some of that. I have a few pots. Nice. Very nice. Okay. I'm really happy that Vulcaniston looks pretty good, although I forget what units he can go into, so I need to check that. Facts. Speaking of the leadership, like the new leader system and everything, I feel like low-key Games Workshop were trying to send a message about that with the most recent Christmas Battle Force boxes, because thinking about the Sisters one, that one is like literally like it's Morven Vol and 2 squads of Paragon Warsuits along with some Celestian Sacrosancts. I'm like, huh, how nice how they released the Sanctorum Guard box, and like now Morven Vol can lead can be attached to a pair of, or not a pair, a trio of Paragon Warsuits in combat. It's almost as if they planned it this way, or I don't know. All I can do is theorize, really. I don't work for Games Workshop. Isn't it? Anyway. So... Okay. Moving on, we gotta hit some of these statues. Yes, I already got this one. We need to get the other 3. Alright, here we go. Ooh, I'm really liking this Pterodon turquoise. I'm so glad I bought this. I bought this ages ago, back when I first got my Votann army box, like way back in September. Oh wait, Ultralord says the only Primaris squad he can go to is the Infernus squad, so that's one more reason to get them. Ah, facts. Gotcha. Word up. Well, glad we could help each other out, man, by splitting that box so that we can get the Infernus Marines that you need. What was I saying though? Yes, I bought this bottle of Pterodon turquoise way back when I got my Votann army box, like way back in September, October, whenever that was. Because I thought I was going to use it to paint my Votann, and then I ended up not doing so. Of course, I still kept the paint, because I was like, I could use this for a future project. Story of my life with most of the paints not most of the paints, but with a lot of the paints I buy. As any mini painter will tell you. So yeah, I got this paint for this project, but then I ended up not using it, but maybe I'll use it for something in the future. And the band played on. And he can point at an enemy unit to give other Marines reroll wounds with flame and melta-guns. Damn! What the fuck? That's sick. Sheesh, that's pretty strong. Bro, I feel that with the paints, yeah. Yeah, it's like you buy this paint thing, like, I'm gonna use this for this project, and then you don't use it for the project, and you're like, I'll use it for the next project, and then you either do or you don't. This is the way. Nice. Okay. Let's see, here's where we're at right now. That's starting to look pretty good so far. I'm a really big fan of that. Okay. I think we're done with the Pterodon turquoise. Yeah, we don't need to shade anything else. Some of the best shade paints in the Citadel range are, truthfully, contrast paints. Speaking of the contrast paints, I think while I'm waiting on the rest of the Pterodon turquoise I've applied to dry, I think I'm gonna go ahead and also paint. I'll just go ahead and paint the treads right now, because why not? That'll be easy. Let me think. The treads, I want the treads to be. Let's use, where is, I have my Rattling Grime right there, but do I want to grab, let me grab Black Templar too. I think what I want to do is, I want to like, do like a Black Templar, but then I also want to use like Rattling Grime to kind of make the treads look a little bit filthy, a little bit dirty. Actually, let's apply the Rattling Grime first, so that it picks up more of the undercoat, so it's brighter, so it stands out more. And then we'll apply the Black Templar. We'll apply both, actually, we'll apply both paints randomly around the treads to get the effect that we desire. All right, Rattling Grime first. This is like a sort of brownish black, designed to look like grime, hence the name, Rattling Grime. Ooh, what time is it? 9:59. Okay, we got a decent amount of time left in stream. Okay, figuring out the best way to hold this. Actually, the best way to hold this is probably to pop this off and then use put my finger in the hole like that. And then we go in. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's get that grime all over the place. Yeah. Are the magnets for storing the tank? Yep, exactly. They're for going inside of my magnetic carrying case. When I was moving, you know, since the Castigator was already like, you know, fully built and partially painted, I was like, well, I want to make sure this is protected, so I went ahead and magnetized it, even though I hadn't painted the treads yet. Maybe get some grime here on the inside part too. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see, now we'll apply the Black Templar. And actually we'll apply a little bit of gray paint to the treads too, since that'll kind of match with the theming of my sister's bases, since they're all walking through like burnt ash and everything. We'll put some gray shit on there too. That'll be really good. I know from experience that Black Templar is a very goopy contrast paint. It's a very thick contrast paint, so we're gonna need to thin that a little bit and then apply all over. Let's see here. Kind of letting the rattling grime and the Black Templar combine as I'm painting on the Black Templar here. Speaking of magical whistling, another thing that's been going on with me recently is I've been playing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Got that for I actually got it for my birthday. I didn't even talk about this, but while I was, oh my god, I'm so silly. While I was gone, I turned 23. My birthday, which is on the 29th of May, passed while I was away, so I turned 23 while I was away, so that was a lot of fun. Had a surprise birthday party thrown by my lovely girlfriend. It's my first ever surprise party, and I really, really loved it. I was very happy and grateful for everyone who showed up. Had a good time, just chilled out, played some games, played some Quiplash, had some funny moments. And it was great. It was all I could have asked for out of a 23rd birthday party. Yes, Tears of the Kingdom is so good, Godzilla in it. I haven't played very much of it at all. I'm only like 7 hours deep, but man, in my opinion, automatic game of the year 2023. Like, it's just gonna, oh, thank you, Godzilla Ned. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, it's gonna clear. It's gonna clear all the game awards once award season comes back around. Yeah, no, that game is truly one of my favorites I've ever played. And it's such a great sequel too, because like it only improved on so much that, you know, Breath of the Wild already did so right. And I love the narrative too. Like, you know, not many Zelda games have like a super strong story to them, but like my favorite thing about Tears of the Kingdom is how the world feels so alive. Like, yes, this is the exact same Hyrule that you first explored like 5 years ago. Oh no, 6 years ago at this point. And like so much has changed, but also so much is so familiar, and it just feels so organic and cool, and just like you're actually there. And I'm like, yes, this is what happens when you get people who've been making games for so freaking long behind your game. It's so cool. It's so cool. Oh my god. Ooh, the Fierce Deity Sword. Now see, that is tight. I saw a picture of that on I think it was like on Reddit or something. I'm like, damn, I gotta get that. I gotta get my hands on that. The Fierce Deity Sword. I remember when I first played Majora's Mask. Speaking of the Fierce Deity Sword, I remember when I first played Majora's Mask, I actually did like I collected all the masks specifically so I could get the Fierce Deity Sword. That shit took me forever, because I was like what, 13, maybe 14 at the time, and I was so bad at Majora's Mask. To this day, that's still like the hardest Zelda game in my opinion. And it really is, simply because of the whole 3-day time limit mechanic. Really, I struggled so long to figure out how to do some of the more like intricate quests that revolved around a lot of like time travel and shit, like the couples mask quest line. But getting the Fierce Deity Mask in return for all my efforts was like one of my favorite gaming achievements from when I was like a teenager. Definitely a highlight for me. One highlight of a gamer moment for me. That and like beating Dark Souls 3 for the first time, because that was my first Dark Souls game. Back when that came out in like 2016, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 2016. 2016. Same year that Pokemon Go was released. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Alright, let's see here. Gotta flip and do the wheels on the other side. Alright, here. Here we go. Do. One thing I'm really hoping to add to my setup soon, and at that point I think I could finally call it complete, is a spray booth. That way I can show y'all like all of the airbrushing steps that I do when painting and priming my minis on stream, instead of having to do that offline. Reason why I feel like I have to do it offline is because like well actually well yeah, no, it's because like I would have to like move my camera equipment into the room where I like have like the window where I can gun like fire out of and stuff. But with the spray booth, I'll be able to like actually reach the window here in this room and just feed all the paint spray out and through that. I can actually include those steps as a part of the live streams. Not have to do it in between scenes anymore, which would be nice. Would be very, very nice indeed to be able to do that. Okay. Okay. Have you come across the Gloom Hands in Tears of the Kingdom yet? I have not come across the Gloom Hands. Like I said, I'm not super far into the game. Like, I'm only just now working my way through the Rito Village arc. I'm about like 7 or 8 hours in. I haven't seen very much of the game yet, nah, so I have not seen the Gloom Hands. But once I do, and next time I'm on stream after the fact, I'll be sure to report back. I have seen images and like clips of people encountering them though. Or wait, maybe those weren't the Gloom Hands. Actually, no, those weren't the Gloom. That's not the Gloom Hands I'm thinking of. Bro, when I was going through like the opening of the game, like the tutorial areas and shit, and I saw the first like, I nearly screamed because I have a terrible history of likes in Zelda games, especially going back to like when I was playing Ocarina of Time when I was like 12 years old. Oh my god, likes are my least favorite Zelda enemy. I fucking hate them. They are terrifying. Oh my god. I was like, nope, fuck this. I'm not playing this game anymore. 0 out of 10 when I saw my first like. And then I was like, wait a second, I have so many tools to dispatch this thing. And I made short work of it. And finally, 11 years of childhood fear of likes were finally resolved in about solid 1 minute and 30 seconds of combat. Not bad, not bad. Oof. But yeah. Oh, and Nikki, thank you for the happy birthday wish too. I just saw yours as well. Yeah, it was a fun time. Also, y'all, just want to say another quick thank you for subscribing to the channel and supporting it. Don't forget also to like the stream too if you haven't done that already, because that will go a long way in helping, helping me get picked up by the algorithm and everything. I just want to say too, speaking of support of the channel, you might notice the the subscriber goal right here. It's a bit higher than the last time we were here. We're at 67 out of 100 subscribers, so we are very close to achieving our first subscriber milestone before the end of the year is out. So that is very, very exciting. So don't forget to share this with your friends, and also if you're new here and you happen to be watching the live stream, you happen to be tuning in from either your YouTube recommendeds or anything like that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That way we can head even closer toward our subscriber goals and get some cool live streams, some cool content unlocked for the channel. That'd be great. Thanks, guys. And thank you to the 67 of you who have subscribed so far. 67 subscribers is more subscribers than I had 4 months ago. I had to think about that to do some quick maths. 4 months ago when we first started out this channel. So we're up, we're on the up and up, we're growing, It's a very exciting thing. Thank you for the cheers in the chat, y'all. Okay, what do I want to do with these treads now? I haven't fully finished drying yet, but I am going to take... Where is my Mechanicus Standard Gray? There you are, right there. Gonna take some Mechanicus Standard Gray. Shake that up a little bit. Got 17 minutes left till we wrap up stream. Cool beans. Alright, cool. That should be mixed enough. And I cracked the cap. That's fine. Whew. Oh yeah, that is straight cracked. Dang. That's okay. I can go get a replacement cap. Please tell me you didn't dry out on me. Uh-oh. Rubber raggy. Then we might have a dried paint in our hands. That or an empty paint. Don't know which one, but either one is problematic. Where are the emergency toothpicks? I don't really want to reach for those right now. Actually, you know what? We'll just switch to a different gray. Thankfully, I have another bottle of gray paint sitting right here on standby. Standing by. Where is my French Mirage Blue? That, if I mix that with like a little bit of black, that should do quite nicely, actually. Yeah, actually, the French Mirage Blue by itself will actually be decent enough. So we'll use those instead. Yes. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna take my medium-sized brush. Not gonna worry about whatchamacallit. Not gonna worry about taking some of it off the brush because we're just gonna be stamping. Basically, that's not. Yeah, we're basically gonna be stamping. Don't want to call it stippling because it's a little bit more aggressive than mere stippling. For being for real, for real. Maybe a little too aggressive. Hold on. Let me actually stamp a little bit of that out. Go a little bit lighter on that, Christian. There we go. That's much better. Might try to bounce it out with like a little bit of a heavier splotching right there. We're just gonna very lightly, very gently tap it, not necessarily stamp it instead. There we go. There we go. Nice. Some of that on the under part of the whatchamacallit here too. That's a surprise tool that'll help us a bit later on. Got plans for that later on. Yeah, because we're gonna add some stuff underneath there too. Yes, and on the side of the hole too. That's gonna go on after we. It's gonna go on after we get all the copper on eventually at some point. Speaking of, I think our Pterodon turquoise might be dry enough. I don't have a brush on my hair, do I? No, I don't have a brush on my hair. Perfect, okay. So I think we can actually move on to the next step for the copper. Make sure this is dry enough. Do not want to cross-contaminate my... This is the time where I actually do not want to cross-contaminate my paints. Here we go. Sorry about the shaky camera, guys. I was really trying hard to get the paint out of this brush. Alright, let's shake up this Castellax bronze. And now it's time to see... hold on. I'm skipping. I'm getting ahead of myself. I just remembered that I actually wanted to add a little bit of color variation. So we're actually going to mix up the sky blue first, and then we will get to the copper. That might have to wait till next time at the rate we're going, but that's okay. Y'all will be here, won't you? I need a decent enough brush to sacrifice for this, because this brush, whichever brush I use, is probably going to end up being low-key ruined. This one's perfect. Alright, cool. Boom, boom. Gonna just use a tiny bit of our sky blue here. Just a tiny bit of it. There we go. We're gonna take this, we're gonna douse our brush in water. We're gonna thin this down pretty heavily. So I kind of want this to be almost like a glaze consistency. Yeah, I kind of want this to be falling apart at the seams, so to speak. And then let's dab some of that off. There we go. That looks great. Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly perfect. We don't need very much of it everywhere, just enough to sell the effect. It's very subtle, but hopefully you can see through the eyes of the camera how it's just adding a very subtle lift to our turquoise here. Just brightening it back up just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. There we go. Yeah. I might even mix it with a little bit of the original turquoise too. See what that gives us. Oh yeah. That's nice. Yeah. Who's getting arrested? Wait, Godzilla, what do you mean? The police cars? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Was there? I didn't even notice that there were police sirens going off in the background. Dang, good catch. You have a better ear than me, and I'm literally right here. I'm literally right here. I'm literally the guy in the photo right now. We want to apply some of that right here too. Huh, did I tear down turquoise this? I don't think I did. Here, let's do that real quickly then, I guess. Put that out a little bit more so it's not as hefty. There we go, there we go. Yeah, that'll work actually. All right, what time is it? 23? All right, we'll stop here in a few minutes. Guys, I think this was an excellent paint session tonight. We got a lot done tonight. I am having a grand old time hanging out with y'all here once again. Like I said before, it had been way too long, and I missed you all so dearly. I am so grateful to have y'all join me yet again here tonight. Just realized I think I might have missed this sconce with the pterodon turquoise earlier. I don't think I hit this one. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice. Okay. Oh, thanks, Isabel. Appreciate the compliment. You are, of course, as always, very kind. All right. Now what I gotta do is just let all this dry, and we are gonna be good to go. Add a little bit of, yeah, just a little bit of blue right there. Nice. All right. All right. I'd say we achieved a decent amount of coloration right there. Yeah. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. That's looking pretty good so far. And I think the copper colors we add next are gonna balance this all out very, very nicely. All right. Here we go, right here. Paul's asking if sisters are your primary army for 10th, or are you switching to Votan or Nids? Sisters, I think, are going to be my primary army for 10th. Especially because now the Triumph of St. Catherine is so good, and I definitely want to get her painted up eventually so I could use her in the game. I'm very, very excited about the prospect of using that model in the game. So I'm definitely going to stick with sisters, and I think, like, my second army... I actually haven't really decided what my second army for 10th edition is going to be yet. I'm actually going to be putting out a poll about that probably tomorrow, because whichever army that's going to end up being, that's the one we're going to paint together next on stream. One of the options is going to be Tyranids. I'll say that right now, because I mean, I'm pretty sure I made that pretty clear. And then you'll see what the other option will be when I release the poll. The poll is going to be in the community tab here on my YouTube channel, so keep your eyes peeled for that, y'all, on tomorrow, okay? But I think that's going to do it for stream tonight. So before we go, I am just going to really quickly whip out my cellular device again. Gonna whip out my cellular device and get back to that TikTok we started filming at the top of stream and finally finish that. Because I'm gonna film a little work in progress TikTok to post tomorrow onto my TikTok page, the link to which you can find, of course, down in the description below, along with my other socials. So give me 2 seconds here, guys. You get to hear my TikTok voice a little bit tonight, y'all. What a treat. And here we are at the end of the stream tonight. Basically, all I did was first of all, I finished painting the treads. I gave them a little bit of a grimy look on top of a black Templar base coat, Citadel Black Templar contrast paint. And then I also, because I'm going for an oxidized copper look on the majority of the metal parts on this tank, I also went ahead and laid down the foundation of that by first applying a coat of, where are you? Here you are right here. A coat of Vallejo light turquoise, and then I shaded all that with Citadel contrast Pterodon turquoise, and then went back on top of that with the turquoise again, the light turquoise from Vallejo, and then also stippled on some deep sky blue, also from Vallejo, to give it a little bit of nice color variation too. Also gave the whole body of the tank a nice little dry brush with just some standard white paint just to make the edges pop a little bit more. So yeah, that was all the progress we made on stream together. This tank is still very much a work in progress, but it's coming along really nicely. And if you want to follow along to see more of what we do here, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is on the socials button in my profile. Thanks, guys. Cut! And there it is. So, thank you guys so much once again for joining me on stream. I'm so happy to be back here with you all. I missed you all so dearly during my absence, but we're back to our weekly live streams. Anyway, we're back to our weekly live streams now. Once again, Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time is our new time. Like I said, y'all, thanks so much for supporting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to like the stream before you go, y'all, if you like what you saw here tonight. Don't forget to smash that notification bell so that way you know exactly when I go live every week. And also, follow me on all my socials too. All the links to which you can find down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for 67 subscribers. We are so close to our very first subscriber goal. So help me get to 100 subscribers, y'all, and you'll see what comes next. And if you want to check out those goals, there is a post about them. There's a pinned post about them in my Instagram page, which is also linked down below. Thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. Have a good night. I love you all very dearly. Stay frosty. Peace.
Thank you.